The Whispering Hollow. The town of Blackvale was a place forgotten by time. Nestled between jagged cliffs and a forest so dense that sunlight barely touched the ground, it was a haven for those who wished to disappear. But the locals knew better than to wander too far into the woods, especially near the place they called Whispering Hollow. It was said that long ago, a traveler had stumbled into Blackvale, half mad with fever. He spoke of a voice in the woods, soft and sweet, calling his name. The townsfolk ignored him until he vanished the next night. Only his journal remained, its final entry scrawled in frantic handwriting. It speaks in my voice. It knows my sins. It wants me to step into the hollow. Years passed, but the legend persisted. Some claimed to hear their names whispered on the wind when they neared the trees. Others swore they saw figures moving between the trunk shapes that almost looked human, but not quite. Then came Eleanor Voss. A historian fascinated by folklore, she arrived in Blackvale determined to document the truth behind the Whispering Hollow. The townspeople warned her, but she laughed. Ghost stories are just that, stories. Her first night in the forest, she heard it, a voice, faint but unmistakable. Eleanor! It sounded like her mother, dead for 10 years. Her breath hitched, but she pressed on, recording every detail in her journal. The voice grew clearer, more insistent. You left me, Eleanor. You never said goodbye. Her heart pounded. That was impossible. She had been at her mother's bedside when she passed, hadn't she? The trees seemed to press closer. Shadows twisted into familiar shapes. Her childhood home, her mother's face, her own reflection, but wrong. The eyes were hollow. The mouth stretched too wide. Come closer, the voice cooed. Step into the hollow. Trembling, Eleanor took another step, then froze. Beneath her boot, something cracked. She looked down. Bones. Dozens of them, half buried in the earth. And among them, a familiar journal. The same one the traveler had left behind centuries ago. The voice changed. No longer her mother's, no longer human. You should have listened. Something cold and skeletal closed around her wrist. The next morning, Eleanor's camera and journal were found at the edge of the woods. The last entry was a single line, written in a shaky hand. It never stops whispering. And if you stand very still in Blackvale at dusk, you might hear it too. A voice you know, calling you toward the hollow.